Welcome back, folks, for another startup showcase video. I got something interesting tonight. New country to talk about. This company that we're gonna highlight is from Ireland. It's a company now called Navro. Formerly, it was called Patrix, which actually makes a lot more sense to me. I have no idea if Navro means something in Irish or some other language related to payments, but that's what it is. The name is Navro, formerly Patrix, so that's what we'll operate on. Anyway, as I mentioned, it's based in Ireland, and it's obviously financial services space, payment space to be specific. What they say their solution is it's a payments curation platform for online businesses. So this may be a B2B business instead of C2B or B2C, whatever. But I'm not 100% certain. It's a cool website, but it's a little vague. So maybe somebody else can chime in on that. Competitor analysis, I would just have to say that, doesn't PayPal do international payments? If they don't, I'm surprised they're not in that space already. So perhaps, Patrix/Navro has some sort of advantage, but I didn't see that. So it's a little vague. So maybe somebody can chime in, but I mean, and that being said, I've made purchases from international sellers on like platforms like Etsy, for example. And I think I used Apple Pay, which was fine. So, that's what makes me think that this is, B2B and not B2C. So anyway, website, navro.com, pretty cool website, but there's some questions that, it wasn't easy to answer looking at that website. So feedback, I guess, if anyone from Navro ever stumbles on this video. Product market fit. Okay, given the amount of money they just raised, I would have to say they probably do have product market fit. So speaking of the money, is $14 million is what they raised, so a good chunk of change. Doesn't give us an idea of whether it was seed or Series A or Series B, but $14 million is what was raised. And what is the problem they're addressing? Well, in their own words, they're trying to manage growth for small businesses into foreign markets. So, seems clear. Again, surprised that PayPal isn't already in the space, but maybe they're not doing it right if they are. Okay, so who are the customers? I kind of hinted at are already small businesses, e-commerce. That's really their niche. So, but they seem pretty credible. I question whether there's already competitors. There's probably already competitors besides PayPal. So I've questioned it, but I'm not all that smart. And if you look at their VCs who are backing them, it kind of confirms that I'm not all that smart. Bain Capital is one of the companies, a company called Unusual Ventures, and then Motive Partners. I don't know the other two, but Bain Capital is very credible. And, when they're investing in you, especially in total, $14 million, that's a lot of credibility. So obviously, Navro has something. So I'll have to defer and just say they have something that's very credible and better than what currently exists. So that'll be my final statement on that. Other thoughts, international payments, growth area, a lot, especially for small business. International, obviously, companies already have a way to do that. And, there's already, some growth there, but not as much as small business. I think small business is the right area to go for international growth, despite all the news about, tariffs and whatnot, putting up barriers and globalism is dead. So that's my thought on that. I mentioned about Bain Capital providing a lot of credibility, and they recently got, and they mentioned in the news release about their fundraising amount, that they got a new license, grant license to do business in Ireland, and they got one before from the UK. So that's another level of credibility, because obviously the governments are not going to just grant licenses, financial service industry kind of licenses to do business if they didn't have some credibility. And some of this money that they've raised, they say will go to shoring up their, I guess, whatever capital reserves or reserves that are required by the government agencies that cover them. So it seems like they're good to go. A couple of other items, total funding. I don't know any funding besides the 14 million, but I assume there is some. The moat, getting the licenses is part of their moat, and I'm assuming they have some sort of patent on their platform. And then market size, yeah, it's got to be large, very large in the payments area. That's it. See you next time.